Yeah. So you grow up and you take on that character as well. You keep people at a distance. You don't want them to get close, to come and get to know you because of what happened to you growing up. And when it comes to intimacy, you feel like you're suffocating. It doesn't feel right. It feels like these people getting to know you, wanting to get closer to you, it's suffocating because you are the avoidant type. You don't want people getting in your space because you grew up alone. You literally brought yourself up. No one was there. And then there's that disorganized type. Yeah. A mix of both. They push, they pull, the dynamics of fear, craving for intimacy. Those are the confused type, because of what happened to them growing up. But we are going to go deeper into this. And guys, it's a live chat. Go ahead and let me know what your experience was growing up and childhood trauma and how it's playing in your relationships today. Uh, these partners aren't about who you are. Sorry, these patterns aren't about who you are. Yeah, they are about what you learned love was. If you thought love was that, so that is what you actually think is is relationships because that's what you saw growing up. Yeah. Now there are so many ways people have grown up, but I want to hear from you guys uh, about your childhood traumas. Let me know about what your experiences were growing up because there are so many guys. And not all of us grew up in the safe and protected setting. Some of us grew up where there was no parent, there was no one to take care of us, to watch over us, and things happened. But on this platform, you can go ahead and share your experience and probably find healing while doing that. Because there are common behaviors we develop from trauma. There are common behaviors we develop from trauma, like fear of abandonment. Yeah. You have you met these people who fear, you meet this person, you meet this nice girl, this nice gentleman, and he's always scared or she's worried you may leave or he's worried you may leave simply because they had that trauma. Someone left while they were growing up. Maybe the parents were in a relationship and the father left, or uh, the mother walked out and went on and started a new life. She had had enough. That can play in your relationships where you don't trust. You're like, if my mom left at this age, if my father left my mother at this age, how sure am I that this person that I've just met will be there for me come, life happening? So all those things happen to us while we are growing up. And guess what? They change us. And before you know it, you're this kind of person that doesn't trust and is always afraid that this person that I've just got, however assuring they are, they will leave. So let me know. It's a live chat, guys. If you've got any experiences about childhood trauma, anything that you think is playing in your relationship, let us hear it, guys. It's a live chat, and I'm waiting for your comments. And I'm also waiting for you to share your experiences growing up because, like I said, this is one of those topics that many of us can relate to because we've all had childhood. Whether let me know whether yours was safe or it was the avoidant type or it was, you know, the disorganized type where there was no stability. Today it's this, tomorrow is that, today this one is around, tomorrow this one is gone. Let me know what kind of childhood you had and how is it playing in your relationships. Have you heard of these people who keep on saying, well, for us when we were growing up, we used to walk from here up to, 10 miles to school. There are those people you hear and they keep on referring to how they grew up and how life was terrible or how it was hard for them to grow up. Well, those were their times, but guess what? They carry it even to their relationships when they are parenting, and they expect their children to experience life the hardest way because they did go through the same. Now I'm a bit different. I had a tough life. I want to give my children better or an easier life than I had, if God permits me. That is what I would want. Now, let me know in the comment section who it is that is watching and how your childhood played out, or how is it playing out in your relationship today. Many of us are actually doing this because it's what happened to us growing up. Some of us are spoiling our children simply because we had it rough. There's this lady that I happened to meet. She grew up, her mom had walked out of the relationship and left her with her father. And so she grew up with the relatives on the father's side. Now, those relatives were not easy. They would, Cedric says, I was beaten a lot in school. I was beaten a lot in school, even when innocent. Now I don't want my kids beaten. Can you imagine? Now that is childhood trauma for him. Because of what happened to him growing up, he doesn't want the same to go to his children. Because believe it or not, guys, what happens to us plays out in our relationships. And I'm hoping, Cedric, you're not beating any of the ladies, or the lady you've not beaten, or you're not beating the lady in your life if you have one currently. Because, like I said, beating, you know exactly how it feels. So you don't want to pass it off to someone else. Yeah, thank you so much, Cedric, for sharing. And I'm waiting for Rogers to also say something, and Dina, because I believe you also had a childhood, and let us know how your child experience was. Otherwise, I was telling you about this lady. So, because her mom had walked out of that relationship, she stayed with the dad and the relatives of her dad. And the dad got some ailment while she was growing up and died. So she ended up with at the mercies of the relatives. Those are the aunties. Rogers says, what about Lillian? Lillian, we are waiting for you as well in case you're watching. Rogers, I need to hear your childhood trauma. Is it still playing in your relationships today, or was it something that happened and you are able to get over it and have better relationships? Rogers, share, please. We are waiting. Otherwise, Lillian Rogers is asking that, where are you? Dina, where are you? Yet to hear your comments. Dina says, due to childhood trauma in my adulthood, I fear rejection, so I turned to be people pleasing. I fear criticism, low self worth, and I have poor boundary with brothers. Oh, Dina, that is sad. You say due to childhood trauma, my childhood, my adulthood, I fear rejection, so I turn to people to be people pleasing. Fear criticism, low self worth, and have poor boundaries with brothers. Now you can see how that plays in our lives. Now, Dina, this is what I can tell you about, especially when you said that you fear rejection. Because this is a Christian, but I shared my trauma. Go back and read it. Oh, she said she'd shared her trauma. Let me read it. Or she said being depressed at a young age is not a joke. Due to a childhood trauma in my adulthood, I fear rejection. So I turned to the people. Now, I don't know what happened to you growing up. I really don't know. I really don't know what happened to you. And Roger says that's why my dinner loves money. I hope money can rub away, your fears, Dina. But going back to, on a serious note, what you just said, you said because of what happened to you, depressed as a child. I don't know what happened to you, and you fear to be rejected by people. But this is what I can say, because this is a Bible based channel. Uh, this is what I can say, that we learn to go to God. Me, I've learned one thing. Now, I'll tell you this. My mom passed when I was a child, when I was really young, and read it before the first one. Oh, Dina says I go back and read her trauma before the first one. Okay, let me go back and read. I thought I had read it. Maybe you sent another one. Dina, so far I can only see two messages. And Blessing, thank you so much for tuning in. How are you, my dear? Thank you so much for tuning in. We are talking about childhood trauma and how it affects, how it plays in relationships. So there is anything you want to talk about and add to our comments, go ahead. And if there is any advice, go ahead and give it. Otherwise, welcome, Blessing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Dina, I can only see two comments that you sent. You said being depressed at a young age is not a joke, but due to childhood trauma in my adulthood, I fear rejection. So I tend to be a people pleasing. I tend to be people pleasing. That is what I've seen, and so it's what I'm talking about for you, Dina. Yeah. This is a Bible based channel and we talk about life. Now, me, I can only direct you to God. You cannot please everyone. You can never please everyone. Now, I'll talk about myself. My mom passed when I was quite young. And when she did, I learned that I cannot trust anyone. I am in this alone. I mean, I had siblings, but I realized anyone can leave me anytime. And because of that, I had my own issues where, because I grew up without a father, yeah, uh, because I grew up without a father and it was my mom who was taking care of us and she passed, I grew up and I had issues of trusting people because I thought they would leave. But that didn't break me. I chose that